Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom to the 12 tribes, Yasha Allah. Allah to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. That's all praises, honor, and glorification unto the Most High Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI. Right, this is Brother Yasha Allah coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right, so I'm gonna just go into the scripture real quick, all right, because look, you know, Christians, they'll try to use certain precepts to justify eating unclean foods, right? When the Most High clearly stated that there are unclean and clean foods, all right? Even during the time of Genesis, from the beginning, right? Noah had to separate the unclean and the clean beasts in the ark, you know what I'm saying? The Most High said that the unclean and the clean beasts, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and we still have to keep the dietary law, all right? But that's, you know, a whole different video right now. I'm just focusing on Deuteronomy chapter 10, Deuteronomy 12 and 15, right? Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 15, all right? Because they'll try to read this, right? But, you know, let's just get into it, right? Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 15. Notwithstanding, thou mayest thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat thereof, as of the roebuck and as of the hart. So Christians that, you know, some of them lack reading comprehension, but they'll try to say that this means you can eat clean and unclean beasts, right? No, that's not what it's going into. Right? That's not proper, and that's literally not you not having reading comprehension skills, right? Because look, it says the unclean and the clean may eat thereof, meaning if you are unclean or if you're clean, it doesn't matter, you can still eat of the sacrifice. You can still eat of that meat, right? That's all it's going into. Literally, all you have to go do is go into a different translation, right? Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 15. New International Version, right? Nevertheless, you may slaughter your animals in any of your towns and eat as much of the meat as you want, as if it were gazelle or deer, according to the blessing the Lord your God gives you. Both the ceremonial unclean and the clean may eat it. It doesn't mean that you can eat unclean and clean unclean foods, right? That's not what the Most High is saying. Because literally, and you can read it in different translations, right? And it'll tell you that, right? The unclean and clean may eat of it, right? In the ESV. But literally, in the next 2 chapters, right? 2 chapters later, because let's give it to them, right? Let's say, okay, this is talking about you can eat unclean foods when it's literally not going into that at all, right? But we're going to go 2 chapters later. Let's see if the Most High kind of, you know, changed his mind or whatever, right? Deuteronomy chapter 14, right? Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 8, right? And the swine, though, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Hold on now. Now the Most High in 2 chapters later is saying that the swine, which is pig, is unclean for you. But I thought you can eat unclean foods, right? It says what? Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their carcass. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, all that have fins and scales shall ye eat. And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat. It is unclean unto you. So now the Most High, is he changing his mind? Is he schizophrenic? What is he doing, right? No, the Christians don't have the proper understanding of that verse. It's literally not going into you can eat unclean foods. Because literally 2 chapters later, the Most High still reestablishes the law, right? Which was listed first in the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter, right? About the unclean and the clean beasts, right? He even says in the book of Leviticus 11, right? In verse 47, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten, Why? Because they're unclean. So literally the Most High, he doesn't contradict himself, right? We know that every word of the Most High is pure, right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 5, right? Every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. So he's not going to contradict himself, right? The Most High is perfect. So Christians literally don't have the right understanding of that verse. It'll be ridiculous to say that Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 15 is showing you that you can eat unclean stuff, right? So I'm going to read it once again. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 15. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all thy gates, whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. The unclean, meaning if you're unclean by reason of whatever, maybe you touched a dead body, maybe, whatever, you had an issue of blood or whatever, right? The unclean and the clean, right? You're not defiled, may eat thereof, meaning you can eat it, right? You can eat it still, even if you're ceremony unclean, or maybe you're clean, right? You're not defiled, right, by anything, right? You can still eat of it, as of the roebuck and as of the hart, right? Like it's a roebuck, like it's a deer, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it's going into. It's not going into you can eat unclean food, right? So with that, I just want to get the, clear understanding what that means through the spirit and power of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Of course, Lord willing, this was edifying. Kwam Yasha Allah. Shalom.